So right now I'm going to show you some real case where you can use those functions. And I'm back in this file. I think I'm sending you to you. So for example here, I'm going to do some real-time filtering. For example, when I'm going to start, for example, I'm going to filter my region column. When I'm going to start to putting, for example, you here, I want my data to getting filtering. And we can use the filter function for this. And we gotta use some tool from the developer tab. If you don't have the developer tab, you can activate it from the option. Actually, if you go to option here, option, okay, customers ribbon, and you can check the developer tab here. So since I got the developer tab, I'm going to, for example, first I'm going to put the text box here. If you go to developer tab, go to control group, and from the insert bottom, you can find the text box here. And the text box can allow us to type some text. And I'm going to link this text box to a cell in my workbook, for example, I'm going to link this text box to the cells Z1. So I'm going to double click on my text box, for example, double click, and from the property plan, I'm going to, if I go here, I have the link cell here, and I'm going to tap the cell reference here, Z1, and I can close the Visual Basic editor. And for example, actually we are on design mode. If I deselect it, I can start typing something here. And if I type something from my text box, the word I'm typing on the text box getting in my cells Z1. And this is what I want thing to do. So I tap UK, I got UK here. So I'm going to back to design mode. And I'm going to put right now my filter function to filter my data set here. For example, I'm going to put my filter function here. Okay. Filter. The row is my data set. Include. Include. We're going to use this here. I got two ways to do the filtering. And I'm going to show you the two way. The first one, I'm going to use this number. For example, I'm going to use this number. Actually, I'm going to show you this before I do the filtering function. For example, here, if I do some source here, the source function, source Z1, no, actually Z1 text to find Z1 within, okay, the region column. And the last argument is optional, so I can leave it here. For example, actually, I don't have something in Z1. For example, if I type U here, I got some error here. Error. But actually, what the search function do is searching the position of the U from each row from the region column. For example, okay. I guess wanna do this. For example, here we have U. So the U is in the first position, so it put 1 here. But here we don't have U. So the formula got error. We have U here, we have U here. So I'm going to put another function. For example, the isNumber function. isNumber is a formula that return true or false. For example, if it is a number, you're gonna return true. If it's not a number, you're gonna return false. That is true because we have U here. That is true because we have U here. So we are going to use those functions inside the filter function. So filter row is this. My data set include, I'm going to use the function I'm showing you is number source. What we're sourcing is something we put in the cell Z1 within this column, and can close the isNumber function and close the filter function. So if I type, for example, B here, if I put, you see everything getting filtered and gets retrieving me the row that contain the word B. For example, in Brazil, we got the word B. In the Burkina Faso, we got the letter B. So if I type, for example, you here, you're gonna retrieve me all the row that contain this letter. But I don't want to type the letter here. I'm going to type it here. So disactive the design mode. I type, for example, I think I gotta change the cell reference. I go back here, cell reference. Okay, where is the cell reference? Cell. Okay, let me find the cell reference here. The cell link. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you passed it.
You paused it. It's H1.
No, like you passed down.
Down.
It
Okay.
shows. Yeah, that's down again. Yeah, it's right there.
Yes. Yeah.
Links.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's put it here. Z1 close. I disactive this and I start typing. You can see that put here. If I type, for example, A S, so it is real-time filtering, and you can put it here just to hide the cell Z1 and go back here and you can filter your data. And the second option here is when I type here, for example, I type, for example, U. I want the U to find a word that starts with the U, not the word that contains the U. And this way, I'm going to use the second formula instead of the first one. For example, I'm going to come back here, and instead of using this formula isNumber and source, I'm going to use left and len. Left left. The text is from the region column. The number of characters, I'm going to use len of G1, close the parentheses, equal to 1. And the problem. Okay.
The G1, that G is missing. Equal to G1.
Equal to G1. I'm going to equal to G1, yes. And you can, for example, at the end of the, you can use the last argument of the filter function if the word you're typing here not live in your dataset, for example. And this way you can, for example, tell Excel not found, for example. That just in case you type something that is not part of your dataset, for example, if I type something that is not part of my dataset, that's going to tell me not found. Yes. Okay.
One question.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to work like within, like in a different sheet. If the data is in a different sheet, we used to work.
I didn't understand the question.
Okay, like if the data is in a different sheet, would the filter formula still work?
Different sheet.
Yes, this thing is in a different sheet. Like the data, like the data is in the same sheet here. Let's say the data was in a different sheet, maybe align strands sheet. Would it stay work also?
Yes. So you are asking if we got the data set from a different sheet.
Different sheet here with the filter
Yeah,
formula
we
still.
just can link the formula with the other sheet. It is possible.
Right.
Here I'm going to use another use case of the function we just see, the unique function, the sort function, and the filter function. For example, here I got a data set that actually the cell data set, and I'm going to analyze my data set. For example, here I'm going to retrieve the unique list of my product here, and I'm going to create, for example, a drop-down list that can allow me to choose a product and see the total sale of this product. And we can use the unique function here. First one, unique function row, and from the product column, that allow me to retrieve the unique function of my product, and I can sort the list by using the sort function. And I'm going to use this list to create a drop-down list. So I'm going to data type, to data validation, I choose list, and from the source I'm going to use this. And the thing I forgot to tell you is, if you're referencing a function, a set that contained a row function, you got to put the hashtag sign. Let me show you first before we do this. For example, if I wanna retrieve this data set, for example, if I do this, for example, it's gonna get me just the first cell. But if I want the whole cell, whole column, for example, I have to reference with the hashtag sign. For example, if I put the hashtag here, it take the spill column here. So if you referencing a cell that contains a row function, you got to put the hashtag sign. This is what I'm going to do when I'm going to do the drop down list from here. For if I go there and list and source, I'm going to use this, put the hashtag sign, and okay. And here I got the list of my product here, and I'm going to use the SumIs function to calculate the total sale of each product. Sum range is the cell column. Criteria range is the product column, and the criteria is just the drop-down list. I close the parentheses, and I got the total sale for this product, and I can choose a product here and see the number of the total sale. For example, the aspirin got 398. This product, it is dynamic, and I can do something also. If, for example, I select a product here, I want Excel to highlight the row that contain the transaction of this product. For example, here, so I'm going to select, for example, my data set here. Go to Home tab, Conditional Formatting, New Rule, use a formula, and I'm going to link, for example, the product column with what we choose in the drop-down list. And I'm going to remove the absolute reference in front of the row, because I want every row to get updated. For example, I just put the reference in front of the column because I always want to reference the product column that live in the C column, equal to what we going to choose here. And the format, the field, for example, I can use, for example, the green color and hit OK. So every time I select, for example, a product here, Excel highlight the row that contain the transaction of this product. And the amazing part is when you got a new data. So if you got new data, you don't have to go back to your function to update the range. You just copy the data inside of your data set. And actually, this is a Excel table. So you got to transform first your data set in Excel table, so you get the update automatically. For example, I copy the new data I got here. I'm going to pass them under my, and you see here, the list get updated. The drop-down list also get updated. That the sunset, and if you go down, you see the row that contain the transaction of this product. Yes. Another example here, if you want to create a dependent drop-down list. For example, you got a list of country and you want to choose a country and see the city that we can find in this country. For example, if I choose Morocco, I want in the second list, I want in the second drop-down list the the city we can find in Morocco. If I choose another country, for example, Ivory Coast, I want to see the city we can find in Ivory Coast. And we can use the Excel arrow function here also. So we're gonna use the unique function that's gonna allow me to retrieve the unique list from my country column. And I'm going to do some filtering. And first, I'm going to create the drop-down list using this. Okay, the list I just create here. I'm going to data tab, data validation list, source. I'm referencing a row function, so I'm going to put the hashtag sign. Okay. Oh, made a mistake. I should do it here. So I go back here, list, source, hashtag. So I got the drop-down list here. And if I choose, for example, Burkina Faso, and I want in, actually, this is Siri. Siri, for example, I'm going to create a drop-down list here based on the city, based on the country I'm going to choose here. Country. Okay, but first let's use the filter function here. Filter row. I want my city column include the country column equal to what I'm going to choose in the drop-down list. And I can close my parentheses. And if I use, for example, Nigeria, I got two cities. If I choose, for example, Ivory Coast, I got the city from Ivory Coast, and I can put it in the drop-down list also. So I choose list, source. I'm going to take this, use the hashtag sign. You can see I choose Burkina Faso. I got a list of city of Burkina Faso. I choose, for example, Nigeria. I got a list of city of Nigeria. And if you want to put, for example, the population also, you can do this. If you, okay. And you can do some filtering or use some X lookup function. But you can use filter function also. For example, filter, what you want to filter is population, include city equal to what I'm going to choose here. Like, for example, Lagos. I choose another country here, for example, Ivory Coast. I got the city of Ivory Coast. I use my, and I got the population of Yamoussoukro. Okay. Maybe the last thing I'm going to show you is you can create, for example, a pivot table using the Excel arrow function. Actually, for example, I got a small data set here I'm going to analyze. And for example, I am going to do, for example, I want a list of product here and a list of representative here. And I want to Excel to calculate the number of, for example, if I got a representative here and the product here, I want the number of sales the person made in this product. For example, I can use the unique function here, unique. I take this column, close the parentheses. I can use the sort function to sort the list if I want to. And here, that I can use a filter function here, but here I'm going to use it with the transpose. Let me show you first here. For example, if I put a unique function here and I want my product, so I select the product column and close the parentheses. I can sort them. If I go back here, I'm going to sort them, and I don't want the product to be put in the row. I want them to do in the same row. I don't want them to be split in the different row. So here I'm going to use the transpose function, and I can put it at the beginning. Use the transpose of this. Close. That transpose my list. So I'm going to copy this and put it here. So I got the list of my product. I got the list of my representative. So I want Excel to calculate the total of cell made by Chantal, for example, with the product Carlotta. So we used to do this in pivot table. Maybe for example, if I come here, I'm going to do this quickly. You can see, for example, use this existing. I'm going to put it somewhere here. You just want to, for example, if I got representative in my row, product in column, and revenue in value. And here, what I'm going to do, setting, pivot table option. What we gonna do? For empty column, yeah. Guess we're gonna put the 0 here. So I'm going to do the same with the Excel row function. So I come back here. I'm going to use some if function. Some if. So summarize gonna be the revenue criteria range gonna be cell representative, and the criteria gonna be this column. Criteria range 2 gonna be the product, and criteria is gonna be this. I close my parentheses, and you see we got the same thing here. If I actually did this, you see we got the same thing. For Chantal Carlotta, we got 731, and so on. And for example, if I got new data, I can collect them and pass them under my data set, and everything get updated. But for the pivot table, I have to go to pivot table analyze and refresh. So that was the Excel row function that you can use to get more productive when working on Excel. That can allow you to save a lot of time when analyzing your data.